In the defamation trial with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, there's been one incident, one story that has been making its way back and forth around the courtroom the entire time, and even had a big effect in the UK libel trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the big altercation that occurred in Australia. Now, if you don't know the story, the big argument is basically, from Amber Heard's side of the story, they got into a big fight. Johnny Depp went kinda crazy, ended up severing his own finger, and started using the blood from his finger to write obscenities all over the walls. Pretty gruesome stuff. But Johnny's story is a little bit different. Johnny claims that his finger was severed when Amber Heard threw a vodka bottle in his direction, and when it shattered, it sliced his finger open, and he nearly lost his finger. In fact, he had to have surgery to have it reattached. So now that you know both sides of the story, let's talk about what happened at the trial on Monday when Johnny Depp's lawyers pressed the doctor, who said Johnny's finger couldn't have been severed by the bottle due to the way his hand was placed, saying that it didn't correlate with the injury Johnny Depp ended up sustaining.
Dr. Moore, based on your analysis, did Mr. Depp's finger injury happen as a result of a vodka bottle being thrown at him?
No.
And what is the basis for that opinion?
Well, the medical data is inconclusive. It's not consistent with what we see in the described injury pattern or in the clinical photographs.
When the doctor was later questioned by Johnny's attorney, Camille Vasquez, she would bring up the fact that the doctor did indeed review Depp's testimony and deposition, and even though he stated multiple times that Depp's hand was placed palm side down, in Depp's testimony and deposition, which the doctor did review, Depp specified that his fingers were hanging over the edge of the bar, not placed flat palm side down, as the doctor had said so many times over.
You said the hand resting flat on the bar. Can you show the jury what direction the hand was resting based on the documents you've reviewed?
I think that the demonstration was with the hand flat, like this.
From the pictures, what was the basis of your opinion that the hand was resting palmar side down?
Well, that was the way the injury was described and demonstrated in the videos, and so in that position, were the bottle to strike the finger the way it was described, it would have struck on the nail.
When asked about this by Camille Vasquez, the doctor would reply with yes, in a stuttering and regrettable tone, as if he didn't want to admit that he was originally wrong.
You said you reviewed Mr. Depp's video deposition, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you said you reviewed Mr. Depp's testimony at this trial, correct?
That's correct.
And was that also a video of his testimony?
Yes.
And you testified that Mr. Depp demonstrated that his hand was flat on a surface, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's not entirely accurate, is it, though?
No, his description was relatively consistent in both, including turning and resting the hand on the edge.
Isn't it true, Dr. Moore, that when Mr. Depp did the demonstration in his deposition, he showed that his fingers were hanging over the bar?
Well, even hanging over the bar, it still leaves the dorsum of the hand or the nail vulnerable.
That's not my question, Dr. Moore. On a table, they were hanging over the bar.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you knew that when you made that opinion. Isn't that correct?
Well, I believe that as I demonstrated sitting here, that I said that he had said they were slightly curled over, I think was the description that I gave.
Your description in this courtroom was that it was laying flat, and I think you've done that now twice. But in your deposition, you testified that his fingers were actually hanging over the bar. Isn't that correct?
So that's a distinction that perhaps I misstated in one of the two descriptions.
He then goes on to try to backtrack and say that he did mention that the fingers were curled, which Camille Vasquez did not allow, saying that he had done twice now the flat palm-facing downside motion when he showed the jury what he was trying to describe. This would turn into a pattern as the questioning went on of Camille Vasquez proving the doctor wrong and making the doctor look like he's, well, not a very good doctor. But what do you think? Do you believe the doctor, or was Johnny Depp's attorney appropriately shutting him down and properly proving him right every time she did so? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.